Hey there guys, how's it going? Reaper here, and back with another painting video. And this is the first of the Reaper Bones Kickstarter that I got. And I couldn't resist painting this mini, it looks so cool. It's called the Dark Watcher. I think it's meant to be a beholder, but obviously they haven't got the copyright for the actual beholder minis. But looking at this, it is a Cacodemon from Doom. It looks just like one of them. So that's what is going to get painted up as today. And this is also an experiment because I know with the original Bones materials, you don't have to prime them to actually paint them. Whereas, I didn't know about this because this is a new material they're using now. So I thought I'd give it a go. And I would not recommend it. It works. You can definitely do it if you want. But priming this mini would have been so much easier, as the paint just didn't quite stick how it should, and it went very translucent, which is not that normal for these paints. If I painted this with just a white base coat, or even the grey that I normally use, it would have gone on in one coat without no problems. As you can see, I am piling the paint on. This is the second layer I'm actually doing now. I'm going back over what I've already started, but it's also not a bad mini still. And it did cover, it just took more than one coat, which is okay. But now the Dragon Red is done, we moved on to Fire Lizard, and this is where I really started to get the problems with the not primed. But it worked out in the end, and that's all that really matters. But the Fire Lizard is just for the inside of the mouth. I do cover the tongue quite a bit, but I don't paint the tongue in this colour in the end. But of course I do the sides of his jaw as well, and basically anything that's raw skin, not so much the scales, is going to get done in this colour. And that was it for the Fire Lizard. Now on to green skin, and that is just for the eye. That's it. All the Cacodemons I've seen have a nice deep green eye, and it sort of gives it that beholder look, but obviously it's not actually a beholder. But now the green's done, we're moving on to dark stone, and that is for the base. I just do the entire base in dark stone, as it's a scenic base which you can't avoid with this mini. So just at least make it look like it's actually meant to be like that. So I'll cover it in dark stone and then just give it a wash at the end. And as you can see as well, the red's not quite dry. So it does mix a little bit as it's being painted on, which for stone doesn't matter too much, as stones in real life aren't always just brown or grey. There's always a bit of colour mixed into them, as there's natural minerals in the world. So that little touch of red, it just works. And it is not noticeable that this mini is finished. But that was it for Darkstone. Now on to Banshee Brown, and that is for all the horns and the teeth. There we go, that was it for Banshee Brown. Now on to Crusted Sore. That is for the tongue and the very back of the mouth, which is where I started to notice that the yellow isn't actually drying. It's just sort of gone on, and some of it is dried, some of it has stayed very wet still, which it's been a while since I put that on. It should definitely be dry by now, and I am hoping that it's just due to the fact that it's not primed and the actual bones material is keeping it a little bit moist. So next mini I do, I will be priming it, and then we'll see if it has the same effect. But lucky enough, the red is so overpowering, it just worked. But now we're on to Dungeon Grey, and this is for a dry brush of the dark stone. It just sort of adds a little bit more depth to the whole base area, as it is part of the mini, so it should be looking a bit more part of the mini instead of just a base. And now we're on to Skeleton Bone, and this is highlights for the teeth and the bones. Obviously with the teeth you just want to do tips and the dead center of the teeth, so that Banshee Brown gives it that sort of tonal look. And with the horns, as you can see, I'm not doing all the way down to the base. I'm always dragging the brush up the horn, as the bulk of the paint, when you lift it off, is where you actually get the paint. So if you put it on and drag, the end of it will be always where you get the paint. And it sort of gives it just a bit more of a blended look, and then obviously when the wash goes on, it fixes it completely. And now we're doing matte black, and that is obviously an eyeball. And the edge of the base as well, as all my bases are actually black, so even with a scenic base I'd like to give it a black rim, just as I think it seals it off a little bit more and makes it part of the rest of the minis that I have. And that was it for the base colors. Now we're on to red tone for all of the scales. I'm just going to get done in red. And there we go, that is red tone done. Now on to soft tone for everything else. So all the base, all the horns, the inside of the mouth, it all gets covered in a soft tone. Now you could use dark tone for this, or even strong tone, but I wanted a more subtle look because it's going on to a actual bone look. So you wanted something a little bit more, well, plain, essentially, as strong tone will stain these so much more than it needs to. I also don't wash the eye, as there is no need to wash that eye. It's just a solid piece. The wash would just stain it a colour, and it would not be worth it. Now, as you can see as well, once I get inside the mouth, that yellow is still not dry. Like, I didn't notice it at the time. I noticed it when I was watching this back, that as I do the right hand side of the mouth, it actually just blends with the paint. And lucky enough, I always wipe my brush when I get more wash, so it doesn't actually have any effect. But if you don't, that could have ruined the inside of the mouth and just painted it. But that is it. That is my Cacodemon done and ready to mess with some players. Hope you enjoyed, guys. I will be doing a lot more minis from this set, and like I said, if you did enjoy it, I will catch you in the next one. See ya.